Today is the 6th of March, 2018. What in the world is actually going on here? Well, I don't know. Lots of things. Well, Barbara was outside my door, standing out there outside my door like she does all the time. She had a smartphone in her hand and was out there listening. I don't know if that was the social worker or what, but I don't know. The resource lady, she's not really a social worker. She's got to get some more more education for that. But it might have been her. I don't know. So somebody was out there and they went into Barbara's apartment because they noticed I was up front, and they went in there into her apartment, which I believe was Barbara because it looked like her from the back side of her ass. It looks just like her. She's running there real fast. It looked just like her because that's all red hair, so it had to have been her. But anyway, that occurred today at 2:29 p.m. this afternoon. She's still doing the listening, still trying to get information and trying to put her spin on it. As normal, that's per usual. She's been doing it for the last 8 years or so, 8.5 or almost 9 years now. Going strong. Nothing's ever changed from the present. But other things to report on other than the Poe epidemic that's going on here at Harbor Square, the Poe saga. We got other things to talk about. Well, like I said, remember the blast of cash that's coming next week. Watch out for me at stoplights because they'll be handing you or blasting you with $100 bills. You'll get one $100 bill. You can use it to help yourself or to improve someone else's life. And hopefully you do just that. Look out for the $100 bill, man. I'll be dressed wearing my brown leather jacket and my glasses and all. You see me walking around with Dockers on or something. And you see me at a stoplight, I give you $100. It's no catch. Look out for that phenomenon going on around here in Mechanicsville because it's going to be starting next week. It's one of our acts of many of giving back to you all. And donations are what do it. So tithe. Help us in that effort too, because the more we can give, the more lives we can reach and bless here and beyond Harbor Square and even out in the local communities. And some people might receive a $100 check in the mail here at Harbor Square. So be looking out for that. It's randomly drawn. So we'll see. But like I said, well, things are pretty much the same here on the home front. Nothing really mum's a word. I understand in the grapevine there is a girl by the name of Judy that's getting evicted from here. Don't understand what the statistics are, but what sources say that it's paperwork. She happens to be a woman here that lives here, and people call her a preacher. Yeah, I'm just saying that's what people call her. And that's what they're saying. I don't know anything about it, so I didn't really want to say anything really much about it because I don't really know much about what's going on. But to say something there's a mess up with the paperwork or something, so they're trying to evict her for it. But then I heard sources say that it may be that the landlord's trying to move or evict white people out of here to get black people in here. I mean, this could be what's going on here because it seems like there's a lot of people getting evicted that are white for flimsy kind of ideas. They're just trying to evict people that are white. It seems like she's going after white people. And it may be that's what she's doing is trying to get a bunch of black people to move in here. I don't know. But there might be something to it because that's what other people are saying in the neighborhood. There may be some truth to that. I don't know. But like I said, if she can come up with these flimsy charges against me, I wouldn't be surprised if she'd come after any of y'all too. Because don't think that you're immune, Barbara Poe. Because you might be the next one to go. The same, anyone could be part of this thing. Because if that's what's happening here, they can come up with charges on you. Flimsy eviction notices and things. So, like I said, be aware. It may be what they're doing is trying to get more blacks in here. And maybe other, Puerto Ricans and stuff. I don't know. But like I said, that may be what's going on. If that is going on, that's finding out to be true, that this place would be, we'll have a lot of trouble happening. Because HUD wants a diverse neighborhood. That means a neighborhood that's made up of all races, not just more of one versus another. Because that's the way these neighborhoods are supposed to be put together. They're made up of everybody, not just certain people. And then on other news, say if you got a teenager, right? Hypothetically, you got a teenager, right? A girl or boy. And they like to sneak over to a place. Like say maybe they've been going over there for a while. And then all of a sudden, maybe your parents got into a fallout and you can't go over there anymore. But they're still sneaking over there sometimes. Well, maybe there's a guy that they're sneaking over to see who they were seeing when they were over here because they were exposed to them when they were living here. And that could be what maybe happened here and why that person was sneaking out to come over. Maybe that's why they're sneaking out to go see a guy. Maybe it was somebody in a place like this. Maybe they were coming over here and they were coming over here to see that guy because they were going over to that person's house, and then they would go get with that guy. And this guy is supposedly supposed to have a restraining order to not be able to get around any of the kids. But it could be possibly why maybe she was sneaking over here. It's possibly, maybe it's why a teenager would sneak out, or she would sneak over here, or sneak out anywhere, because maybe that's why they're getting away from something at home they don't like. And maybe that's why they're coming over here to get with that person, because something did happen between them. They just want to have more of that to keep happening. And maybe that's their way of doing it. It's a theory, It's possible, because there's no other reason why a teenager would sneak over to a place where they shouldn't be unless there's something. They're either doing drugs, or they're having sex with somebody, or something happened to them inappropriate, and that's why they still keep sneaking over to a place. So, it's either one or the other, or they're seeing a guy that they're not supposed to see because they were told not to, and they're still trying to see each other by meeting at this place. These are the 4 possibilities why they could happen. I'm not saying that's what happened to your daughter per se, or in anybody's daughter in general in particular. I'm just throwing out theories out here, because people just don't show up at people's doorsteps just to sneak around unless they're coming over here for one of those 4 things. So, like I say, I don't know, and I'm not saying that's what happened here, but only God knows the real truth of why the person or teenager was sneaking over to a place, or the person that was sneaking over here that wasn't supposed to be over here, but they were still sneaking over here. That could be the reason why they were doing it. One of those reasons is the reason. And that's how she may be responding to it, or how teenagers respond to it. If they don't like something at home, they don't like where they're not always being heard or not listened to, that may be why they respond that way. That's why all teenagers would respond similar like that. Teenagers don't always do things that are smart or sensible, because teenagers don't think like adults, because that's why they're teenagers. And that's why they react the way they do, because they're not an adult. And even though they act mature, really, really mature, a lot more mature than adults sometimes, doesn't always mean they think or act like an adult, because that's why they're called a teenager, because they're really an older child. And they are growing into an adult, but they're still an older kid, really. And you don't want to tell them that, but they are. No matter how they want to be an adult, because they do want to be an adult, you got to remember they're still kids yet, because they're below 18 years of age. So they're going to do some stupid stuff as a response to things, but it may not be stupid while they're doing it. It depends on what's going on at home, what's the dynamic situation going on at the house, and what's going on at their house. Maybe that's what they're getting away from, and that's why they're doing risky behavior. I don't know. But, like I said, these are just theories. And they're not actually what happened, per se. But it could be a possibility. But it is something to look at. So if you have a teenage girl or a teenage son, they will react like this if they are mad about something, or if they don't like something, or somebody's too strict, like a parent or parents. They may respond this way, to react as a counterpunch to it. And that's normally how teenagers respond to things they don't like. They'll actually act out and behave in ways that they normally don't behave. That's typical of most teenagers. And, that's why they sneak over in places where they shouldn't go, and why they try to get up with somebody that they're not supposed to be seeing or being around, because there's a restraining order against that person anyway. So, like I say, that may be why she's sneaking over here to meet with him. Still. Because he's riding all around here, he's definitely riding over here and picking up blind Mike over there on the other side, and taking him to the store and probably giving him drugs too for pain. So that's still going on. And he's still riding around here in the complex and parking over on the other side and walking around, because I heard his foot dragging around, I just heard it a couple of days ago. And he was coming out of Barbara's apartment last Tuesday, So he's still coming around over here talking to Barbara and Patricia, and I heard his voice, his loud, reverberating mouth over there at Patricia Tyler's house two or three times too, different times. So he's been coming over here since December. So it's like he's acting like he's living here, even though he don't live here. He's coming over here in spite of him sexually assaulting a girl from Building 5, which was in his apartment over here in Building 4. That's where he assaulted her at. And he's still coming over here like he didn't do anything wrong. And he did do something wrong, and he's not supposed to be on the grounds. And all the women here are all afraid of him. They're all scared now. The ones that had things done to them from him in their apartment, what he did, touching them inappropriately and stuff. They're all scared now. So, that's what I'm saying. The landlord's doing her job. This wouldn't be happening. And, it's like she's living here on the ground, so I don't know how the world she doesn't see that. And I don't know why this guy's coming over to Barbara Poe's house. And why am I getting evicted? Because he has something to do with it. See? And, like I say, I don't think the Shields have anything to do with it at all, because they wouldn't do that. But I do believe that Barbara really and Patricia are behind it. I do know that for a fact. Because it's always, everything that happens always gets traced right back to them, even with the computer, me getting in her computer, so-called computer, and hacking into Wi-Fi's and all, that wasn't even true either. That sounded like Barbara's, vernacular, because that's how she talks, because she's not very educated about computers, so that's how she talks. So that sounds just like Barbara Poe, because that's what she was saying out here. I'm hacking into Wi-Fi, so she don't even know what she's talking about. She's not even qualified to even make that assumption. But she's sitting there talking a whole lot of hot air, like usual. And I think in court we will have more of the same. Lots of big statements, but no facts. Lots of words, but no substance. It's like we got a cookie with no filling. Kind of like the same thing what we'll see in the courtroom. More going. So, what I'm saying, I ain't really worried. And, as long as we can get her some mental help and get her in a hospital, get her in a home where she needs to be to get the specialized help, like Charlie said when he came over here last week, said she needs professional help. Before I got this eviction notice on Tuesday, which is really weird how that happened the very next day. And he said to her at her door, because he was so loud, he says, why are you doing this to him? And then he says, well, you really need some professional help. You really do. Yeah, and she does. Because, she's the one that did this. She's the one that told him, see? So, it's not hearsay. That's what he said. So, I agree with him. I've been saying that before he said it. Maybe he's watching your videos. I don't know. But nevertheless, that's the verdict on it. That's what happened here. She did that. She went over there and talked to the landlord and put a monkey in an ear. So, that's what I'm saying. Something she said to the landlord, and the landlord can't evict you on hearsay. And that's what she's trying to do. That's not going to hold up very well. Just like all that stuff on that eviction notice is all hearsay. Even the stuff in the video is hearsay. Even if it's a video, you can't use it because it's my freedom of speech. It's my word really simply against hers. There's no case there. It's the wrong video anyway. And she's using more than one video, and if she's going to do that, she's got to cite that in the notice, which she did not do. She failed to do. And so that can't be used. And just like when I said she's watching me, I wasn't talking about Barbara Poe. I didn't say Barbara Poe's watching me outside in and out of my apartment, even if I said that, which I did. But I wasn't saying nothing about Barbara Poe. I didn't say her name. I didn't say her, and I wasn't thinking about her. But they assumed that, so they say they have no case. So I can talk about anybody's she. I could have been talking about she Ford. I don't know. You don't know. I could be talking about any she. I could be talking about Beth Ann she. I could be talking about Stacy. I could be talking about anybody. So, there we go again. Assumption is the worst of all, what they say, F-ups. So, really, there's no case there either. So all that stuff be thrown out. On or around about the date, you got to be exact in a notice. You can't just say on or around about the date. Who in the world writes stuff like that? Somebody don't know how to write. That's who. Anyway, I don't want to say anything more. I took in that notice all apart like breakfast. It's just crazy. I've talked to a lawyer and they said the same thing. All that stuff's false accusations. There's nothing there. There's no truth to it. She's just trying to get you out of there because of something that Barbara told her in the office. And she believes what she said based on hearsay. And they can't kick you out just because of some hearsay. Something was said, because if she can't tell you why she evicted you, because she never told me why she evicted me. She's just coming up with a bunch of generalizations. And usually when you evict somebody, you got to have really concrete reasons, and there's nothing concrete about it. Just all a bunch of hearsay, a bunch of, generalizations. So, I'm not worried at all, really. Not one bit. So, it's just more of the same around here with Harbor Square, with the cops, with the gossip cats and all around here. They got a lot of gossipers. And, I guess the landlord buys into it because she's kind of believing all that gossip instead of the facts, the truth about it. Because, if somebody accuses you outright of getting in their network, that's a serious crime. That's called computer trespassing. And if I did that, why am I still here? Why am I not locked up behind jail or in bars and prison for doing that? Because it's a felony crime. If I really did that, then why am I still here? See, that goes to tell you that I didn't do it. So therefore, she should have been evicted out of here. Because that's enough to evict somebody. And she knew about it. She can't say she didn't hear anything about it. The cops got reports there. The cops know that Barbara Poe did that. And they also know that she's the one that called them a bunch of times over. About 12, 14 times over that. And it was not anything true. And then she was all about it. And then she's out there cussing outside my door 4 or 5 different times. Then she's like banging on it when she called the police on me. I didn't call them. She did. She already called them. She was banging on my door like a crazy fiend, on August the 13th. That's when that happened. And I even have tape of it. So, all that stuff out there when the cops got here, I've got it all on tape. So, like I said, we are going to play that tape. We got it. We got her. I'm telling you, we got this place by the balls. That tape says it all. So, we're going to play that. Like I said, we're not kidding. We're going to get it out here. So be looking forward to that because it's going to be exciting. It's going to be explosive because it says a whole lot of things about Barbara and how she really is. And that's how she acts all the time. So that's not an act. That's just Barbara Poe, how she is in real life. And it's just that nobody sees it, but I hear her yelling and bitching about all kinds of stuff over there all the time because she's so loud. She's always mad about something. There's never a day where Barbara's never unhappy. She's always pissed off about something. So that's all the time. That's just normal for Barbara. But anyway, but like I say, systematically, you'll see what I'm talking about. The cops had to tell her to calm down. They did. They had to tell her 3 times to calm down on the tape. It's pretty wild. So, she started yelling at them and ordering them around like she's giving them orders. Like telling them what to do, how to do their job and all. Like she's the boss. It was pretty wild to see. Anyway, we'll play that and you'll see what we're talking about. You'll hear it all right there in high def. So anyway, like I said, we're going to prove our innocence. Like I said, we're proving it, baby. And like I said, we got the goods. Not like Danny where we're hot air. No, we got real stuff. Way different from Danny because I got evidence, I got proof, I got documentation over and over again. Just like the door encounter today, outside the door today at 2:29 p.m. Many times, 8 years has been like this. It's been hell. But anyway, take care, and we will send more out. Take care. And hopefully people watching may learn something too. Watch out for your neighbors. Don't trust people who don't act like people you can trust. Be honest. Tell the truth. And always do the right thing, even when people don't want to do the right thing. It's not good to be popular because you did something wrong with a bunch of people who were in the wrong. It's better for you to be popular for doing something right, which in God's eyes you'll be very popular, but in the world's eyes you will not be. But that's the way it should be. Take care, guys.